Welcome to the session of online lecture series, which is organized by UP Institute of Design, a constituent college of Dr. A.P.J. Abdul Kalam Technical University, Uttar Pradesh. So today we have with us Mr. Sushil Tripathi. Let me just take a few minutes to introduce. He's such a great person. So Mr. Sushil is certified in organization development analysis, talent management, various assessment centers, competency mapping, assessment and development. He's also trained in emotional intelligence, DISC, balance scorecards, and various HR tools, and in almost 2 decades of work experience in multiple industries like constructions, manufacturing, energy, retail with Gati, Mozaber, and currently he is working as the head HR of Siyaram Appraisals and Retail Business. And he has led many HR initiatives in the field of organization design, development, change management, with special achievements in creating sustainable leadership pipelines. He's very keen interest in astrology also, and he's been awarded recently CHRO Award of the Year 2020 by HR Association of India, and he's also recognized as one of the top HR minds of the country by World HRD Congress in 2020. So today he will be discussing with us about the topic employee engagement. So before I begin the session, I would like to request all the participants to keep their mics on mute and turn off their video footage. And also for queries, you can use the chat option. So with all of this, I would like to welcome you, sir. It's a pleasure for us to have you here today. And now we would definitely like to hear from you. It's over to you now. Then you can unmute your mic now so that we can hear you.
Sorry.
Yeah, now it's fine.
Thank you, Lina. Am I audible?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. You're perfectly audible.
Great. I understand, and I'm not aware which kind of that students are there. So, like, just understand, like these are from design background or from human resources.
Sir, from
so any idea, just give a brief idea about your students or the participant, so that accordingly I can share experience, because then it will make more sense for these students.
Yeah, definitely, sir. We have with us management students also, and also the design students. Both of them we have here with you.
So what do you have planned, like in terms of this session need to be interactive or just one-way communication?
No, sir, definitely we would like to have it interactive. Of course, interactive.
So, good afternoon, everyone. So before that coming directly to the topic, I always that to take audience or maybe participant to our back in the history. So I always find out a lot of lessons from there. And nowadays, that everyone, I believe, would be observing about just concluded tele-serial Ramayana and then Mahabharata. So these two, that great epics, actually, that gives a lot of idea about what exactly engagement is all about. How this engagement can be, that taken from these two great epics. If you people are aware about Ramayana, so Lord Rama fought with of Sri Lanka, Ravana. So the army or the people which were from Ravana part were great warriors. These people were blessed by the deities, Brahma, Vishnu, Mahesh. So they were having all kind of resources. And if you compare with Lord Rama army, so you will find these people were just having one kind of commitment, purpose, affinity to Lord Rama. So they were closely, that following the values which Rama was having. So I always relate. Lanka was gold. So all kind of luxuries, all kind of possessions, worldly, that possible kind of material possessions were abundant there. And if you compare Rama army, you will find these were from animals, then wild people, then that monkey king Sugriva and his army. Likewise, if you see story of Mahabharata. It was fought between Kaurava and Pandavas. So the army of Kaurava was led by, Bhishma Pitama, Guru Dronacharya, Guru Kripacharya, like great Maharathis. But at the end of the day, we all know that Satya or the Dharma at that definition still is, that very relevant, and we can relate with the modern organization. So you see the team comprising Kaurava clan was, that most of the time they were having all, that possessions, they were having big brands, they were having all the luxuries, work, every to relate with the current organization. So if you see how organization is made, any kind of organization is made, there is vision, then mission, then objectives. So objectives define, that which kind of values organization, that cherish culture, then processes, then organization structure, then reporting relationship, then the way how, that leadership team behaves with their down the line. So all of these, that comprises any organization. So if you relate with these two, that chronicles, these two great epics, so I will particularly focus on Mahabharata. People would be observing or seeing or any idea about these two, that great epics, you can, that reply on the maybe chat box or hands, and then can let me know so that I can understand whether you people are relating with what I am talking about, or just I am, that going away from the topic. Anyone would like to share? Lina, anyone?
Students, you can share it either on chat or you can just speak up also.
Yes.
Both the options
I
are
don't want to make this session because see, interacting on maybe online platform seems to be, that just one way. I'm just you people would be just seeing my face. So it is very important to be interactive. Otherwise, I would not be able. Anyone? No idea.
I think everyone has an idea right now. Everyone can associate with this.
So today I was, that seeing, that it was episode 75 or 76, I believe. So there, if you people can recollect, Yudhishthira comes out from, that his sides, just gets close to Bhishma Pitama, then Guru Dronacharya and Guru Kripacharya, and then Salya, and seeks their blessing. Remember? So it was yesterday only. So Duryodhana, or maybe opponent army, was surprised what Yudhishthira is doing in front of their army without, that getting any hesitation. And then once he was blessed by all the elders from the Kuru family, then Duryodhana said, I am surprised to see that Yudhishthira is being, that given or offered all kind of, that blessing by my team, whether these people are from my side or from his. So that is the question which we should, that always consider before coming to the employee engagement concept. So I am not sure why this concept was chosen for you people. If anyone is having any kind of work experience, any first-hand experience how corporate operates, if it is there, then fine. If it is not the case, then it would be a completely new topic for you people. So let me give you a brief idea about what employee engagement is all about. Any question? Any question?
No, sir, not as of now. They're just, trying to understand it. So they'll be
Fair. Fair. Okay. So generally what we believe, employee engagement is related with, yeah. Someone was telling something?
No, sir, nothing. I guess there was some disturbance.
Okay, fair enough. So normally we believe, or anyone who has been exposed to the corporates, maybe working at junior or senior level, they always believe employee engagement is a concept which is related with satisfaction, which is related with happiness. But let me make it very clear. Happiness and satisfaction both are very important for any organization, or maybe these two are the drivers, but completely distinct from employee engagement. You'd have seen, like in any of the organization, if you visit, you will find people are busy in their work, they are chit-chatting, they are engaged in party, they are enjoying birthday celebration, or they are on the picnic. So in practical or in a simple word, they are happy. They are happy. They are satisfied with the ambience of the environment, ambience of the office. But if you talk in the sense of any extra mile effort or what extra they are doing for the organization, you can easily find out they are not engaged. So that is the very, that distinct difference between these two concepts, employee engagement and employee happiness, or maybe employee satisfaction. If I have to define what is employee engagement. So employee engagement is related with emotional construct of any employee. When I say emotional construct, it simply means employee is emotionally attached to the objectives of the organization. He or she takes extra mile effort to achieve the goal of the objective. So these three words are very important to make clarity on the topic. One, emotional connect or emotional binding or emotional attachment to the organization. Second, extra mile of effort, which is discretionary in nature. Discretionary in the sense, no one is behind employee to advise or to instruct, okay, boss, you have to take or you have to act like this. So employee is guided by himself or herself to achieve the target of the company. So that is the basic difference. So to comprehend concept of employee engagement, we have to focus on three aspects. One, emotional attachment. Second, this is discretionary in nature. Third one is extra mile effort. Extra mile effort. Fair enough? Any question? Lina, any question?
No, sir, not yet. Not yet.
Fair enough. Fair enough. Okay. So am I making sense, or just that speaking is speaking and no one is
No, no, sir,
understanding?
definitely a lot of sense.
Because most of the time what happens, if question is not being asked, it simply means that either we all are very that knowledgeable, otherwise things are moving that behind your
Right, right.
thought process. Fair
One
enough.
question
Okay,
our
good.
student about that whether the emotional connection is important, but working in happy environment is also important. I mean, he's trying to correlate between both of them.
Yes, but happy environment doesn't guarantee that employee or person is fully engaged. So happiness is the first steps, but it doesn't guarantee that employees. So why we are discussing, or why concept of employee engagement is very relevant for modern or maybe nowadays discussion. So you are aware about that COVID situation. So you be that reading so many news about layoff, then salary cut down, then restructuring, then role alignment, then re-engineering. So lot of anxiety, lot of that insecurity, inferiority, all kind of that fear factor is in the business environment. So you see, then you will read to three organization. If you people have read news related with Tata, news is spread by Ratan Tata, or maybe yesterday news by Bajaj Auto. So where the chairman of Bajaj Auto discussed about the seriousness of the current time, and he discussed very that clearly, that this is the time where we have to work from the heart, not from the that mind, where we have to focus merely on profit, productivity, employee that loyalty, commitment. So this is a time where as an organization, he was touching that emotional connect. So this time, how that employers are going to behave with their employees is certainly going to create the difference between happy organization and then engaged environment. Because engagement is concerned about emotional connect, then motivating people, driving people to take extra mile effort to achieve the company's goal. So as per global, that research done by Gallup, McKinsey, Deloitte, Kenexa, these are, that big consulting, or is the, that pioneer in or study across the globe. So normally what Gallup does, Gallup, that so recently in 19 only 2019 they published their reports on the status of employee engagement across the globe. And you people will be surprised to know the status is like only 1/3 of American workforce, just 1/3, approximately 32 to 34% employees are engaged to the organization. And in India, scenario is more worst. In India, or maybe globe per se, just 13%, 13% employees are engaged. Just 13%. So you people can imagine that you are all, that CXOs or C-level executives. C-level executives mean CHROs, then executives, then CFOs. So if you ask what is the topmost priority for these people, they always talk about talent and then engaging these talent in a more productive way. But you will find just 13% or less than maybe 1/3 of their population is engaged. So then naturally you can expect how the bottom line is going to be. So business result itself, you know, that makes very simple and clear that the level of engagement is not as per the expectations level. So how I have, you know, that structured my presentation or my discussion, like I started with the giving brief idea about engagement, then why it is important by defining three aspects or three dimensions of employee engagement, then what is the business logic, what is the current level. I will not go into so many numbers because I am trying to make a concept very simple and clear. Have you seen Gallup question 12, Q12? Have you seen? Anyone have gone through with this question 12? Hila, can you check with your students?
No, sir. They
Q12.
No response to right now. They might
So
not.
what I will do, I will try to, you know, that so if possible, so how question Q12 looks like, and then depending on those questions, we'll try to elaborate how, you know, that employee engagement dimensions are, you know, that deducted or deduced from these Gallup survey. Fine. So what I was trying to tell you that at global level, situation or the status of employee engagement is very bleak or pathetic or very weak. So what Gallup did? Gallup actually, you know, that did research on almost more than 200 plus organizations across the globe of and then they, you know, that interacted with approximately 2 lakh of employees, so senior, junior, all kind of employees, on the basis of what exactly is engagement, which kind of values, which kind of motivations. So what are the driving factors that, you know, that make them engaged to the organization, or in the sense what are their psychological construct between employee engagement. So why some people are engaged, why most of the people are not engaged with any organization. We all are aware. So Arastu used to tell that human beings are a social animal. And then now it is, you know, that taken to the next level. Humans are basically emotional creation. So to make it very simple, for your understanding or learning per se, you have to keep in mind humans are social and emotional animal. When I say social and emotional, so of these two broad concepts, all dimensions of employee engagements were all dimensions of employee engagement were developed. So as a social animal, what you like, what you dislike, these are the factors which decides whether you are engaged with the organization or not. Likewise, psychological safety, or maybe at mind level, which kind of experiences you people are going through, that is the only differentiating factor, or maybe which kind of employee experience you are passing through with is going to define your engagement level in the organization. I will not take much time on, you know, that creating difference between engaged employee, disengaged employee, or highly engaged employees. So these are just, you know, that degree of differentiation. Basically, there are two kind of people. One is engaged and another one is not engaged. It can be highly disengaged or maybe low level of disengaged, but they are always looking for better opportunity. They are always in the market, they are always looking for, or maybe they are always cribbing about organization. So how it, the bottom line of the organization, if employee is not engaged, they will not take extra mile effort. When you will ask, boss, this work is very important, please sit little late in the office, they will deny. They will not feel happy in the organization, so most of the time absenteeism will happen. They will not be serious about their assignment. So they will not be having very good or cordial relations in years. So teamwork would not be there. So productivity will not happen. So time taken for executing any assignments will be much higher. So then they will interact not in desired way with their customers. So finally, starting from engagement level to productivity, everything is related. So I usually call it engagement value chain. So if your engagement value chain is right, you are definitely as an organization going to get maximum profit. So there are nine, that parameters which lead any organization to create, that bottom line. So like I discussed about productivity, I discussed about efficiency, I discussed about, that customer satisfaction level, I discussed about, that attrition or retention level, I discussed about absenteeism rate, I discussed about quality of the work, I discussed about, that health and safety aspect, I discussed about wellness, because nowadays you will find big amount of money is being, is spent on the welfare of the employees. In terms of, that insurance premium, executive health checkup. So many things are happening. So if your people are engaged, definitely their health or their well-being would be good. So you will be saving a lot of money. Attrition would be less. Your people would be with you, so that you need not to hire again and again. Need that spend so many things. So leadership pipeline would be there. So everything is related. So making sense discussing.
Yes, sir.
Anyone?
One more question we have, which
Yeah.
we raised, that what could be the reason of employee engagement failure in India as well as entire world? Because you just now mentioned that there are just 13% employees who are engaged. So what we can analyze the reason behind it?
Yes, so definitely I am going to discuss in the maybe next 10-15 minutes about why that despite efforts, making so many discussions, organizing all kind of picnic party, insurance, good salary benefits, but it is not happening at the ground.
Correct.
Definitely there are a lot of reasons, but I hinted on two aspects. One was social and emotional, or maybe psychological construct. So all the answers lies in these two parts. So if I ask this simple question from you people, normally what you expect in any of the organization? Anyone would like to share his thought? What you people sought for, or what you people have kept in your mind, maybe this kind of environment would be, or this kind of company would be great place to work for, or maybe this would be the best place to work for. Any idea or any aspirations or any, that picture or any design or any, that film you people have created or made in your mind?
You can share this with the just unmuting your mic as well, if you feel that typing is taking a time. So if you wish to share about what kind of desire you might have, your future dream organization, what kind of things you would expect, so you can share it.
So why I am asking this simple question? If you are clear about your dream companies or dream destination to look for or to work for, you yourself will come out with the possible answers. So I am trying to, take you through the concept or the process, how it was developed. I will not be bookish, and then I will share my own experience in my 20 years where I worked, which kind of work environment, which kind of efforts we made, but at the end of the day, what was the outcome, what we achieved, what we couldn't achieve, and why we were not able to achieve the desired goals. So I will try to make, that answers, and will give you, that an idea how your answers are, that hinting or taking us to the right destination. Yes, anyone? If
Yes, sir. One question. One is that is company with happy environment and a better management team and seniors they're expecting.
company with happy environment,
Yeah.
better management, team and seniors. Yes, last 2 points are important, and how these are important and why these are important, I will definitely discuss. But like I started with happy. So what you feel is happy. So if so, how you will like to define, or how you would be defining what is happy? So what makes you happy? If I give you great salary, if I give you great designation, if I give you, okay, flexible work time, if I give you, okay, you would be interacting, or you will be getting exposure to interact with great people in the organization, you would be getting a cafeteria, you would be having gym, you would be having musical arrangements, or you would be having Google kind of workplace where all kind of possible worldly luxuries are there. So to make you happy, then you would be able to take extra mile effort. So any, that idea or any.
Anyone wants to share about it? Okay, do.
Am I making sense?
Yes, sir, definitely.
Fair enough. So let me try to, that, Gallup 12 questions on the basis of which, that first time this concept of employee engagement came into prominence. Just give me time, few minute time. Just
So aren't you facing any issue? Is it fine?
Just a minute, let me check.
Okay.
Check. So I'm not, that finding it so that it can be shared.
Sir, one share screen option would be available on your screen. The
That
green
is
option.
there, but that just yes. So I believe it will be visible for you people.
Yes, sir. We can
So
see.
is it visible? So
Yes.
you can read it?
Maybe you can just make it full screen so that it will be more visible. Yeah, now it's fine, sir.
Hmm. So what I will do, I will try to read out these questions also, and then we'll discuss in details exactly what these 12 questions are actually trying to, that measure in the organization, and how it is going to, that reflect what are the root causes which are not being, that given right kind of attention, so that you can comprehend how that employee engagement concept was developed. So basically, these 12 questions or key 12 developed by Gallup was initially discussed in a book which talks about 12 the so this was a book so which first time talked about these 12 elements of great managing. So basically, these 12 questions talk about 12 dimensions or maybe 12 factors of employee engagement. So first question, I will, that read out. I know what is expected of me at a work. What is expected of the work? Fine. Able to listen?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay, fine. So, would request if you people can note down these 12 questions, and then I will try to discuss these questions at length. Fine? Second question, materials and I need to do my work right. The materials and equipment I need to do my work right. Third question, at work, I have the opportunity to do what I do best every day. In the last session, I have received recognition or praise for doing good work. My supervisor or someone at work seems about me as a person. There is someone at work who encourages my at work, my opinions seem to count. Or purpose of my company makes me feel my job is important. My associates or fellow employees are committed to doing quality work. I have a best friend at work. In the last 6 months, someone talked to me about my progress. This last year, I have had opportunities at work to learn and grow. So, read?
Yes, sir.
Fair enough. So, any question?
I don't think so. Any question related to these 12 elements, I have tried. Yeah.
Fair enough. So now I will relate these questions with story of Mahabharat and Ramayana, and then we'll bring it to the concept of employee engagement, which I discussed. Fine?
Sure, sir.
Good. So we discussed about Vibhisana. You people know Vibhisana?
I'm sure everyone.
Yes, sir.
So why Vibhisana is known?
For his bravery. And dedicated to Lord
So
Vibhisana.
that is the only purpose. He was thrown out by King Ravana. He was thrown out. He was thrown out from King Ravana. Why it had happened?
Because he go against the Raman.
But it happened. So many people opposed. Even Kumbhakarna opposed him.
But not opposed as Vibhisana opposed, as like
So if you reflect it deeply, you will find Vibhisana was given the most respect among all his, that courtmen.
Okay.
You go back at the time of, when everyone was trying to kill Lord Hanuman in his court, and Vibhisana only suggested that his tail should be put on fire. You remember this discussion?
yes, sir.
You remember? So what I'm trying to tell you, we people never paid attention on the reason why Vibhisana defected. Ram was very close dear to King Ravana, and even he at once upon a time he tried even to kill Lord Rama also, but he was not successful. But he defected Ravana and joined King of Ayodhya, Lord Rama. Vibhisana was a great devotee of Lord Rama, and he had, got this boon from Lord Brahma. Ki, okay, one day when Lord Rama will, Lord Vishnu will take reincarnation on the earth, then you will find an opportunity to meet Lord Rama. So he was loyal to that particular values, that particular purpose. So I am trying to make you to understand the importance of the purpose, the meaning which anyone is looking for in the organization. So if you people or employees are not aligned with the goal, vision, or the objectives of the organization, might be that organization is paying all kind of benefits, perks, privileges. He might be very happy. He might be feeling very satisfied. But if someone offers, okay, here you are getting 1 lakh, ready to pay 1 lakh, 10,000, he will immediately switch over to that organization. So if you go by all these 12 questions which were discussed and which were derived as a major component for employee engagement, if I begin with first question, or maybe what I discussed, this was 8th or 9th questions. But first question talks about your work. Your work. Trying to give you why employee engagement happens and then why it will not happen if you behave. So first, take it for understanding, take one example. if you join any organization, and for better understanding, take example of your own organization. Recollect your first day. Recollect your experience of first day. When you joined this design institute, first day you joined, then definitely you might have interacted with or maybe career counselor, or maybe in the office with the clerk who was there to check your documents, to verify your mark sheets or maybe payment slips. And then you are taken to, if you are living in the hostel, then warden and all the processes. And on the very first day of your admission, there is a process. First day for normally a inauguration kind of seminar happens, where you people are briefed about activities, how your year is going to happen in the organization or maybe in the institute. It happened in your case or not? It was happened?
Yes, sir.
Happened.
Happened.
So why
Yes, sir.
it normally happens and why it is conducted? Then what is the purpose, what you got or what you experienced there? So relate it with corporates. So in between your first day of joining your institute and first day of joining any corporates, you went through with different kind of experiences. Is it right?
Yes, sir.
Different kind. If you people have completed 1 year, you will be having some good experience or some bad experiences also. Here is a faculty ने तो कुछ बताया नहीं क्या होगा, then suddenly ले लिया, या हमें तो ये भी नहीं मालूम था कि इसके बाद क्या होगा, कैसे होगा, किस तरह से पढ़ना है, डिजाइन क्या करना है, प्रोजेक्ट क्या करना है, और what kind of challenges are going to happen. So these kind of questions you people would be having in your mind. So it's exactly applies to any new incumbent who is about to join organization. So that is the reason in every organization there is a well detailed out, that induction module, or maybe some people call it onboarding. And even few people, modern organization or who really, that give regard to this concept of employee engagement, they are very peculiar in the very first interaction with any of the prospective candidates. So normally how you apply, you know that go through with any online, that ad, then refer website of the company, then material, then Glassdoor rating, or then LinkedIn updates, feedback. So nowadays everyone is so updated, so aware. So before taking admission into any maybe corporates or any organization, they are fully aware about people are there, which kind of leadership is there, which kind of, that HR team is there, values, purpose, product, everything is there. So basically, what is the difference? What is the differentiating factor that is going to be the demanding in terms of you automatically run after Google or maybe Facebook or maybe Tata kind of organization, everyone wants to join Tata. But if you compare, there is one organization, ideally I should not name any organization here, but normally it is happening. Still in India, people relate with Tata, Bata, and then there are so many names. So what the clarity on how part of your work, clarity on how part of your work is very important to decide whether you are going to be engaged or not. It might happen, okay, you are having all kind of resources, companies providing all kind of software, or maybe few people would be from design team, then your organization or institute would have offered WGSN software, or maybe Illustrator, or maybe but how you are going to use it, be the benefit of applying these tools, and how it is going to create a difference in your learning, how you will be grown into your career. All of these are an integral part of your job experience. So I started with very first part, which was related with your prior experience before coming into the organization. So this experience to be very important to drive employees towards the path of employee engagement. Making sense?
Yeah, sure, sir.
Okay. So then, first question we discussed about clarity on the job. Then second part was related with resources, then then support from the management, support from your seniors, support from team members. So now I will not discuss these 12 questions. I will try to make sense from these 12 questions in terms of organization construct. Like I started with the components of organization in terms of structure, system, leadership, culture. So trying to divide these description into part. One is related with intangibles and second is related with tangibles. So would be coming from values. Values, which kind of behaviors we that support in the organization, which kind of behaviors uh, we respect in the organization, which kind of values in terms of like teamwork, integrity, passion, speed, then integrity, then humility, then perseverance, then patience. So these are kind of values which organization that creates to give you direction of behaving at the workplace. So this is related with work, this is related with values. Then culture. So culture talks about values, behavior, relationship among senior, junior, delegation, then accountability, then mode of communication, then instructions. So these comprises part of your culture. So artifacts, then which kind of, that communication medium. If you people are aware, some organization, that even senior people are addressed by Sushil Tripathi, people will call, hey Sushil, but there are organizations which add a prefix or suffix. Suffix in the sense Sushil ji, or maybe like that kind of connotation. Then second part is related with system. System in recruitment process, then appraisal policy, then training and development, then career progression, then that system in infrastructure like IT, then leadership pipeline, relationship, flexible work environment, matrix organization, 10 to 6:30 flexible working, then 5-day working, 6 days working, or 4-day working. So these are, that broad part of the organization. And if you dissect your entire organization among these parts, you will be able to find out which are the important factors that are going to create happiness, that are bare minimum needs, and that are vital to create difference, to engage your people at emotional level. Making sense?
Yes.
Fair. Fair. Any question?
There is one question.
Any question?
Yeah, there's one question that
Yeah.
how relevant is having Ministry of HRD and then mostly dealing with education?
How relevant is having Ministry of HRD and then mostly dealing with education? See, the purpose of human resource Ministry of HRD, so human resource development, so they are the deciding factors or the guiding factors in the country to create curriculum for all kind of, that education, whether it is related with technical, whether it is related with professional, design, or maybe skill, or all kind of, that education system starting from, that zero level to very high level of technical professional qualification. So normally they have certain kind of philosophies, before, that deciding or creating or curating any kind of content, there is always objectives. Objectives or philosophy in organization, it is called vision, mission, values. So these three factors decide where organization is poised to go, maybe in 5 years, 6 years, or how organization is going to, that in terms of or maybe organization is just concerned about profit centric, or for organization talent comes first, then customer comes second, or maybe customer comes first, or maybe talent comes second. So these are few philosophies on which, that everything is decided. So that is the role of the Ministry of Human Resource in education. Making sense?
Yes, sir.
Okay, fair enough. So I was discussing about components of organization and how these define the nature of engagement, or nature of maybe happiness, or nature of satisfaction level in the organization. I started with psychological needs, psychological safety, then social elements. So everyone aspires for Maslow's need theory. You people have heard?
Yes, sir. All of them are aware of it.
So I will not discuss this theory in details, but will simplify it. Everyone has certain basic needs or aspirations in terms of like roti, kapda, makan. So these are the bare minimum needs. Everyone, that before joining any organization, these are the bare minimum needs in terms of fair salary, good salary, or maybe decent work environment, comfortable work setting, sanitation. So these few people call it hygiene factors. So these are essential parts. So these are not going to create any difference or any attractive factors in the organization, but everyone looks for these things in any organization. So these will make like a salary should be at par. So at par in the sense, whatever is prevalent in the market level. Naturally, organization takes a call in terms of कि जो market का median है, whether it wants to be little ahead or little less than that median level, but tries to maintain at the median level of the market. So basic components are there, then basic perks, privileges, benefits are there. So these are, that normal things. But if you compare with government organization, every people are satisfied with government job in terms of job security is there, pension is there, retirement policies is there. but people are not engaged. People are not engaged. Likewise, in any corporate, you get all basic needs, but it is not going to connect you people with the organization. Nowadays, everyone is concerned about certain life motto. Everyone tries to create a difference among society. Everyone tries to create certain kind of identity around his or her name. Mean, if I am, suppose, Sushil in the organization, if people talk about Sushil, they should say, here Sushil is unique in the sense. Is unique in this sense, then I will feel happy. I will be delighted. So the purpose of organization is there to create such kind of work environment where Sushil is treated differently on the basis of purely merit. On the basis of purely merit, not on the basis of just position or maybe from where that person is coming. You might have heard, many people would have discussed कि IIT, IIMs वालों को, निफ्ट वालों को ज़्यादा पे करते हैं, हमें कम पे करते हैं. These kind of discussions are everywhere. And if the logic or the philosophy or the theory behind these differentiation is not communicated in right manner to the employees, it causes a big rift among employees. So employees start feeling a sense of disengagement. Employees start feeling a sense of disengagement. So I started with work. So work need to be well defined. Work need to be supported by well articulated manner, in the sense what are the key expectation in terms of KRAs, key result areas. Suppose if someone is appointed in the organization, he or she should be very clear from his or her role what organization is expecting, and if suppose he is performing in line with that, which kind of reward, recognition he or she is going to get in the organization, how his career is going to be in the organization if he achieves his target, if he adheres the values, if he follows the guidelines of the seniors, if he follows all the values, where he will be in next 3-4 years in the organization. These kind of instructions, these kind of clarities, if there is in the organization, people are definitely going to be engaged. Nowadays, every organization, if that is trying to create culture of engagement, they are offering, that some time to their staff to fulfill their even, that hobbies. Hobbies in the sense, if employees feel they want to do or they want to spend some time in maybe outdoor activities, he or she is permitted, given opportunity to engage with social interaction, NGO kind of work, education to, that people coming from lower strata of the economy or maybe country, they are given certain opportunity to fulfill their aspirational level. So if you see Maslow's theory of needs, you will find that there is a level of needs. So at the top level, you will find self-actualization, then that social aspirations. So starting from basic needs, safety, security, then social connect, social esteem, respect, reward, and then self-actualization, which is at the top, but everyone looks at that level. To be maybe down the line 5-10 years, he or she wants to reach at the that level. So entire engagement journey is centered, or that rotates or roams around these basic needs and self-actualization level, and which kind of experience work environment or organization offers. Any question? Any question?
Yeah, we have one question from a student. He's trying to ask that if some employee, willingly keep himself isolated or not trying to mingle up with the other team members, so what can be done for those kind of employees to, keep them engaged?
Fair enough. So, like I started with, the organization is created with certain objectives. So that objective is allocated in terms of well-defined KRAs or role profile. Then around that role or maybe job responsibilities, few support system is created in terms of team, in terms of tool, in terms of guidance, in terms of coaching, in terms of planning of the performance. So planning of the performance in the sense first performance is defined, then yardstick or measurement parameters are articulated. Then if you achieve these targets, which kind of reward recognition is going to happen. Then in between regular feedback or maybe conversation happens in the organization. Then there is a reporting manager or maybe seniors who guides or coach you. Then there is a review mechanism or senior most or leadership who that continuously guides you to achieve well-defined vision. Then mission and objectives are there. So this is a journey. So suppose uh, someone is not engaged or someone is not connected to his or her team or maybe its team. See, way to create engagement in the organization is you have to be with your people. I forgot to discuss this point in the initial discussion when I shared about the status of employee engagement level. In every organization, there is satisfaction level survey, there is, that pulse survey. Then nowadays, to work, a great place, then best place to work for, or all kind of reward recognition programs are happening to recognize organizations. So everyone is concerned about engagement, but what is the basic challenge? All these initiatives are taken in an isolation manner. These are carried from top to bottom level. So leadership would take a decision, leadership refers the finding of that employee engagement survey, satisfaction level, but the people who are responsible or who are the true employee and its immediate reporting manager nowhere considered or nowhere taken into the discussion. So that is the biggest disconnect between any employee engagement concept. So like this person asked, how do you know that engage that person? So problem happens in any organization, neither HR people or HR heads, neither that senior leadership team, everyone is interacting with the webinar or through online or maybe WhatsApp, but they are not visiting to their people, they are their table and putting hand on their shoulder to check how he or she is feeling, how is his or her family, which kind of personal issues, which kind of that experience he or she is going through at the workplace, which kind of comfort he or she is expecting, which kind of communication he or she is expecting. No one is ready to that take that feedback from the employee. I have experienced in my life, so take simple example from the army. First time the concept of line managers emerged from army. So their OCs, their colonels, you will find in any of the eventualities, senior from the army gets bullet on their chest or maybe their head. But in police or in the civilian administration, you will not find this is happening, because in the army, their seniors are so connected to their juniors. That is the reason these soldiers, they are ready to sacrifice their life for the organizations. Though there are three other aspects: pride, then in army language, they call it roti, namak or nisan. So if you relate these three concepts with the organization, roti talks about basic need which needs to be fulfilled. So if suppose Jawan gets killed at the fight, then his taken care of. So you have to take care of your people. You have to concern about the interest of people. Might be he is having some personal issues, but he is not finding any good friend, any good manager to share his or her thought process. Then namak. Namak talks about, part in normal language, it is related with pride. Pride comes if you are recognizing your people. Okay, dude, good job, you did great job. You appreciate that person in front of all the people, then he start feeling, that. But this appreciation should be genuine, related with your workplace. So what I was trying to tell you, that individual need to be uh, considered, need to be sensitized, need to be heard, need to be, that discussed, need to be given ample time, need to be given proper opportunity to share his or her views. If that is there, then it is like, that pressure cooker. So pressure cooker, that what pressure cooker does, it takes all the pressure out, creates, if it is open, then all, that pressure comes out from the cooker. So you have to create that kind of environment where, jisko bolte ghutan, stress, kuntha, it automatically comes out from your people. So an environment is there, environment of nurturing, environment of family kind. Your teammate is like your buddy. So that is the reason nowadays concept of buddy is there. So buddy is so close. Mentor. So mentor also is in line with that. Who is always with that mentee to that guide on personal as well as professional front. So I believe I have answered.
Yes, sir.
And in the process, I have touched all those nuggets which makes any organization engaged also.
Right. Yeah, so basically
Any
communication
question?
is the key, right? Yeah.
Sorry?
No, sir, no more questions, right? We can move ahead.
No more question?
Yeah.
Okay, fair enough. So, what I was trying to, that discuss, so I have not, taken today's discussion from the point of view like a true, that one-way interaction or it happens in the classroom. I tried to make employee engagement concept very simple, tried to give you various aspects, various factors, like by defining clarity on the work should be there, first step. Then resources should be there to achieve the key objectives articulated in role profile. Then well-defined KRAs. Then third part, system of measuring those works, those activities in terms of metrics. Well-defined metrics should be there. Employees look for feedback on 6 month, 9 month, or maybe yearly appraisal kind of thing. Regular discussion, continuous discussion like family, how individual is moving ahead, in whether that individual is in line with performance or not, whether he or she is deviating, then providing all kind of coaching or support to the individual by reporting managers or maybe supervisor or front. So I discussed about three dimension of engagement. One, clarity on the work. So second part, then availability of resources. It should not be like that, okay, very big audacious goals are defined, sets, like we are just, if go by the current trade of COVID-19, we are expecting we will be getting just 6 or 7 months to achieve annual target. And if we start pushing our people to achieve that 6 month, 12-month target in 6 months, then definitely no one is going to be engaged. These targets are not realistic. So organization has to be realistic. So he or she has to be sensitive to the current scenario. So accordingly, that revision or review mechanism should be there. So three part I discussed. One was related with job, work, nature of work, well definition or articulation. Then second part, support in terms of resources, physical resources, infrastructure means IT system. Then we people are interacting through Zoom. So if suppose Zoom was not there, we could not have been interacted. So these kind of support systems should be there. Then intangibles, coaching, mentoring, then providing inputs on performance. Then third part, recognition, appreciation should be there. Like I also touched upon career progression. So blueprint of career. So suppose if individual employee is not sure about how his life is going to be in the organization, he will be always in dilemma. Okay, boss, here just senior people are getting all the privileges, they are getting all exposure, all are getting just promotion, they all are just getting suppose international exposure, they all are just getting exposure to study abroad or maybe school, IIMs or all great kind of colleges. So naturally there might be that individual is getting good salary, but he will not be engaged with the organization. So naturally his career progression in terms of which kind of behavior, values. So in HR language, we call it success profile or maybe competency framework for reaching at top level should be there in very well articulated manner. So I touched career progression, maybe success profile, then how or he is going to be at that place. So providing inputs, providing support, providing learning opportunity, which in single word we call growth opportunity. Then I also discussed about meaning or maybe objective, maybe core purpose. So aligning with the core objective or the vision of the organization, if employees' thought process, aspirations, or maybe core is not getting aligned with organization, like I discussed. Bhishma Pitama was with Kaurava, Karna was with Kaurava, Salya was with Kaurava, then Guru Dronacharya was with Kaurava, Kripacharya was with Kaurava. But every time they were seeking opportunity to condemn Kaurava Sena. They were looking all kind of opportunities to, create an environment of mistrust, hatred. And then every time they were creating humiliation to, that Duryodhana. And actually Duryodhana said, I am expecting ye तीनों वृद्ध आज के आज मर जाए so that I can appoint an army. So it is very powerful the importance of engagement. So if in organization, everything is being taken care or maybe possessed or maybe benefited by just very limited or few people, maybe they are close to family member or maybe they are just following or maybe some people call it chamchagiri or that kind of words they use or abuse to these seniors. So if that is the case, you can expect might be you are getting good salary, decent salary, workplace, everything would be there, but you people would not be, that engaged with the organization. Emotionally, you will be looking for good opportunity. You will be looking for opportunity to switch over from the organization. So I discussed about anyone can count till now what I have discussed, which kind of factors I have discussed, whether it is related with these Q12 questions or not. Anyone?
Anyone there, students? But before, sir, we have few questions lined up. One question which we have is that do you think the role of HR in near future would be taken over by AI? I suppose it's artificial intelligence. And how does one, can negotiate salary in a very good spirit with the head HR?
So, first question, if I ask from you people, which is the most intelligent machine available in the universe? Any idea? Most intelligent machine.
Anyone? Oh, brain.
Ma'am, human brain.
Yes.
So human body, complete human body is the most intelligent machine created on the earth. Then second question, can creator be replaced? Can creator be replaced by creation?
Good question indeed, sir. Of course not.
So basically, question only answer is there. So at several places, this was asked with me. You see whether AI or maybe machine learning is going to replace human at the workplace. I always tell or I always reply with this question. Boss, machine cannot replace humans because humans are the creator of the machine. And if you go by with the reports of World Economic Forum or maybe all kind of Deloitte, McKinsey report, you will always find, and even if you deeply ponder current situation, all kind of AI, BI or maybe everything is there, but still to fight with COVID, what we are doing, we are just going and sitting at the home and just reflecting, going deep into our thought process, thinking. So what I am trying to tell you, human per se is a social and emotional animal. So machine cannot be emotional, machine cannot be social. Yes, robot can support, robot can help to execute certain kind of activities, but again, in machines itself, it is the software or it is the code which is created by human itself, that guides. Beyond those instructions, machine cannot perform. Machine can just play around those combination, permutation, those numbers. So humans or human job or maybe managerial jobs which are decision oriented, which are problems solving in nature, which are in terms of connecting with people, cannot be replaced by. So that was the answer of first question. And then second question, I always tell, don't negotiate for salary. Always negotiate for value. Because if you run after salary, then it will go away from you. So employers are very smart. They always keep certain value in their pocket. And if you know that go behind that or less than or more than that, then always you are at loss. And in negotiation, what is the biggest challenge in salary negotiation, which I have experienced, you are not aware about what a person sitting in front of you has kept in his mind. So might be sometimes you negotiate and he was keeping a little higher benchmark for you, then you are at loss. And if you negotiate hard on salary part, then he might reject your candidature. Fine?
Right, right, sir.
Yeah.
Anyone
Then
else?
what next? What next?
Anyone else for the question up?
सर
Yes.
सर मैंने एक एग्जांपल देखा था जिसमें ना वो कंपनी ना बहुत ज्यादा वो ओपन माइंडेड थे, मतलब उसमें कोई ऐसा हायरार्की सिस्टम नहीं था, उसके बाद भी वो फेल हो गई, तो वो क्या एंगेजमेंट की वजह से या ओवर एंगेजमेंट हो गया था उस केस में?
See, I told you, see, there are multiple reasons. Just only engaging employees cannot guarantee that you are going to get success, because in business there are multiple things. Might be, you know, that your strategy was not in line with the current business requirement. So suppose we as an organization, we are having highly engaged people in the organization. All heads in our organization, for understanding, I am referring Siyaram case. So in my organization, all assistant manager and above people, they have spent at least 8 to 10 years with the organization. And despite of taking decision by the organization, we are going to cut your salary, we are still supporting management. You might be thinking there are two, you know, that there might be two reasons. One, yes, opportunities are not available in the organization, but I discussed with all the seniors. They simply said, in last 30, 40 years, organization supported us like anything, like family. So now if it is a tough time, we have to also support organization. So, but at the business level, we are suffering very bad in terms of we are selling garments, we are selling fabrics, and you are aware, at least for next 2-3 months, no one is going to purchase garment, fabric, and suppose if it is taken to next 3-4 months, then naturally organization is going to face big loss. So sometimes organization is not very innovative. If you read story of Steve Jobs. So have you heard about Steve Jobs and his story?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So you'd be surprised to know company which was created by Steve Jobs, at one point of time, he was thrown from his company by he was thrown out from the company. Company was on the verge of, you know, that getting sold out at nominal price. It happened. So you can Google out Steve Jobs and then you will find out beautiful story there. Fine? Yes.
Okay, I hope we have just one more question lined up. This question is about that once this pandemic situation, I mean, we would be dealing up and will be back to the work. So is there something new strategies which, you know, corporates will be applying for engaging their employees, or it would be same as earlier?
See, pandemic situation really gave us opportunity to relook or review existing mechanism of engaging employees. So we were not aware that technology or maybe this kind of environment is going to happen. No one was ready that for such a long period we will be facing lockdown. So what we did, like I started with first point, employee need to be taken care of. So we also started with the first point. We interacted, connected, communicated, shown our concern, empathized with our employees. So this was first step to get connected with our people, that at this point of difficulty, we are with you. Company is with you. Company is with your family. Don't worry, we are there to take care of your family, well-being, health. You just be at work, just at home. Stay happy, keep safe. So that was the instruction. Then we conveyed this simple message, boss, since we cannot do business at this point of time, so what is now left in your hand? Only your future is there in your hand, which you can make in the future. In terms of, you start focusing on yourself in terms of upgrading your skills. Lot of that learning initiatives were taken by organizations. We discussed in terms of okay, these are free tools. Some people, depending on their identified skill sets, because we interact on day-to-day basis, we are aware okay, sales people is not having good maybe planning skills, or maybe strategy executing skill, or maybe working on numbers, or maybe finance. So we provided them these kind of trainings. We requested them to go with many certification courses. We made them, that personally very sound, very strong in terms of imbibing great values, imbibing, that humanitarian approach. Because we know that once lockdown is open, all people or everyone will be running after to grab the market. So only those people are going to get success in the coming future who has transformed themselves, who has transformed their personality. So like I discussed, we focused on just two parts, like emotional well-being and then social part. And whatever we did in terms of engaging these people were centered around these two aspects. And then naturally, giving them idea about how their future is going to be, which kind of skill sets they have to adopt, which kind of, that learning they need to go through with, which kind of books they should refer. Like we advised them 3 wonderful books. One was 7 Habits of Highly Effective People. I would advise this book for you people also. Then Man's Search for Meaning. Man's Search for Meaning, again, it is written by Viktor Frankl, great book. Everyone should read this book in this time. And third book was related with spiritual intelligence is the ultimate intelligence. So we conducted session based on these 3 books, and it made our people highly engaging, highly charged, motivated. So this we did. Yes.
Thank you.
Any question?
No, I guess now we are done with all the questions. Is there anyone else who wish to ask anything? No, I hope we are done with the questions part.
So again, summarize before closing, I will make entire employee engagement concept very simple. Employee engagement talks about emotional connect. Then it is related with discretionary decision making. Why I am emphasizing on emotional and discretionary? Then extra mile effort. So these 3 components will decide whether employee is engaged or not. He might be happy, he might be satisfied, but he might not be engaging. So 2 difference, 2 definition you always have to keep in mind. One, engagement is different with happiness and satisfaction. Then in engagement, 3 components should be there. One is emotional connect, extra mile effort. Then second is related with extra mile effort. Then status of employee engagement, hardly 13% people are engaged across the globe. This is the result of research done by Gallup, then supported by Deloitte and other companies, greater consulting organizations. So Gallup found out this 12 questions which are fundamentals for all employee engagement related discussions. Then on the basis of those 12 questions, which I tried to cover in simplest form, like question related with job, question related with support system, question related with guidance, question related with coaching, question related with good relations with the team member, question related with how delegation happens in the organization, question related with alignment with the core objective, vision, mission, or purpose of the organization, then question related with reward recognition, then question related with feedback, then question related last in 6 months or maybe a week, whether I was recognized, appreciated. So these appreciated recognitions should be genuine. Fine. So these 12 points, I also discussed about career progression, then succession profile, then competency framework. So all of these talks about what are expected at performance level, what are expected at behavioral level, which kind of values, which kind of specifications individuals should have. And in the last, overall experience which an individual or which an employee goes through while interacting with organization, starting from first step of just Googling out about organization, just Googling about any prospective job opportunity, just referring social comment, social ad, media campaigns, brand perception about that company in the market. Actually, engagement or experience starts from this point only, and if it is communicated, deliberated in well-articulated manner, then onboarding, then induction, then it is taken to the next level of maybe leadership development. In between, I also discussed about job clarity, performance management, then which I discussed in terms of performance metrics. Performance metrics means yardsticks, milestones. Then I also discussed about essential basic needs in terms of roti, kapda, makan, hygiene factor or basic needs of Maslow's, then social respect or esteem, then psychological safety, and then self-actualization by offering opportunity of CSR, social connect, then fulfilling your outbound activities, that kind of thing. So between these dimensions, I try to capture employee engagement by giving two very simple examples. If you keep in your mind like stories from Ramayana and Mahabharata, in spite of living in kingdom made by that most precious stones, ornaments, and metals like gold, Sone Kinka, Kurukshetra or Hastinapur was most prosperous kingdom, but all seniors were looking for opportunity to defect Kaurava side or maybe king of Lanka, Ravana. So this is summary and overall about employee engagement. So time doesn't permit to take it to more detailed level, but I feel I tried to justify with the subject. Now you people can advise accordingly, like any question you have in your mind, because now I can spend 10-15 minutes for question answer.
Is there any question left out to be asked from anyone? I feel that sir has answered, kept answering every single thing in between the session only. They are very. I hope no more questions are left out to be answered.
Fair enough. One picture was also shared by me and one video also, which you can share with your people. And in that picture, I shared recent model of Deloitte related with employee engagement. Then you people can refer, and please go through with the Gallup 12 questions. It will give better insight about employee engagement and efforts made by various organizations. Fine.
Sure, sir. Thank you.
So, Leela, I'm
It was
humbled,
really
privileged,
a
and
good
thank you people. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir. It was really, really an honor to have with you. Such precious time you have given to us. So much of knowledge you have incited apart. Thank you so much. You have given an entire different vision to the employee engagement. How Mahabharat and Ramayana, you have interlinked every single thing with this one concept of HR. So thank you very much. And every question you answered really well with very fantastic examples. Thank you so much once again.
I would love to that maybe if your students feel that they have certain things in their mind, they can ask any question, maybe even after this session also.
Sure.
And I am open to receive any feedback because I am very shy otherwise. I avoid that interacting online with the people, but I experienced this was good all experience altogether for me also. So thank you again, Leena, for giving this opportunity. Abhishek, because I believe Abhishek had dropped a mail.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much for joining in.
Thank you, dear. Thank you.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you, everyone. See you tomorrow in the next session. I hope right now MBA students are here. Few of you are here. Okay, fine. Okay, thank you, everyone.
Thank you, ma'am.